After years of trying to have a baby, I find out that my wife had been sterilized years ago and hid it from me. She tried to explain her actions, but it is hard to believe her. My wife and we are both 33, and we've been married for 13 years, and the whole time we discussed having kids. Even prior to that, we came up with names for our kids, and she even showed any signs of not being able to have them. She even spoke about how she can't wait to get pregnant and know how it feels like to carry a baby. About 5 years ago, we finally reached a financial steadiness. Had a house fully paid for, 2 cars, both had amazing jobs. Now we were ready to support a baby, and she still said nothing. I wouldn't say we were trying for a baby, but we went off all contraceptives. Things started getting fishy when we hit 3 years. No condoms yet, no kids, and I started panicking, but she kept reassuring me that the time will come when it's right. Last year, I finally sat down with her and asked her if we could both just get a checkup, just to make sure. At first, she agreed, but then she started putting off every time the appointment came. After months of doing this, she told me that she was scared the problem was with her, and she didn't want to feel less than a woman. That even if the problem was with me, we could make better use of the money we'd be wasting on fertility treatments that may or may not work. Sounded reasonable enough, so I left it. Eventually, we were set on just adopting, almost done with that process. Today, I want to get a few things on town and ran into her sister, 42, at the grocery store. We did some light small talk, then moved on to the adoption topic. I gave her the updates and she started smiling. When I asked why, she said she was honestly surprised that I didn't leave my wife after hearing she got sterilized and that I was a good man. Didn't take long for her to realize I actually didn't know about it, and she quickly excused herself. When I got home, I questioned my wife on this, and she broke into tears and told me the story of how before she met me, she was dating some abusive guy who didn't want to use any condoms during sex. From her description, it seems more like SA. So he forced her to go to the doctor and get it done. I'm just really confused right now, and I don't know how to handle this. I don't want to think she's lying about this, but she has lied about something big before, so I don't know. Best comments. Something isn't right here. Her story is extremely suspicious to the point it is beyond belief. If you married her 13 years ago when you were both 20, that means she's claiming a doctor agreed to sterilize a reluctant, unmarried, childless woman under 20 years old. Unless she was diagnosed with a medical condition that made pregnancy dangerous, that's not a thing any doctor would agree to do. She probably made up that story to guilt trip him. Run. You can't trust a thing that comes out of her mouth. You'll never get the full truth out of her about anything. You're still young enough to have a family. The sister said she was surprised he didn't leave his wife when she got sterilized. They were obviously together when she had this procedure. Could have been done much more recently, most likely when they stopped using condoms. She doesn't want children, and she should have been honest. Divorce her now. She sounds incredibly manipulative and kind of like a sociopath. She's been constantly lying to you, using emotional manipulation to make you believe her stories. Her story about getting forced by some alleged abuser to get sterilized is just another example. She knows it'll make you more likely to feel sympathetic instead of angry about the constant lies, even though it's clearly BS. 'Cause some doctor is going to sterilize some 18 to 20-year-old girl, just 'cause her boyfriend tells him to. Update. I know I didn't respond to most of the comments, but I did read all of them. Though I've recently opted for a more stable job, my previous one required me to do a lot of traveling for extended periods, so it is plausible that she could have done it during one of these, but honestly, I can't pinpoint a time when she seemed to be recovering or something. She doesn't have a scar on next her belly button, but I'm not entirely sure about others. After speaking to her again about it, she says she got a medical procedure called Escher, and if I wanted, she can provide proof, but she won't forget this. Which pisses me off, but that's fine. I've tried contacting her sister again, but I'm almost certain she's ghosting, which also makes me think she's spoken to her. I don't know for certain what I'm going to do, but I'm really leaning onto the divorce option at this point. Right now, we're trying a bit of separation.